What's up, my people? Today we are talking about managing emotions in the workplace. Why? Because if we don't have the ability to regulate ourselves emotionally, if we don't have the ability to calm ourselves down at work, we are going to behave badly. We're going to live with regrets, and we are going to limit our career prospects. So today we are talking about how to manage emotions in the workplace. So drop me a note. Let me know if this is helpful or if you'd want to see something more or different. I love it. And for the love of God, hit the subscribe button. Let's dive in. Here's the thing. Nobody gets under our skin quite like our coworkers do. Am I right? Be sitting there, minding your own business, and in comes an email that makes your blood boil. It happens every day. It happens all day. Somebody lets you down. Somebody rubs you the wrong way. Somebody says something snarky that then you take personally. It's actually, sometimes our days feel like we're just riding a roller coaster of emotions. Sometimes we're pissed. Sometimes we're angry. Sometimes we're joyful. Sometimes whatever it is a wild ride from morning till night because of all of the different things we feel during the day. And here's what I want you to know. We have to have systems in place to process and move through and extract meaning from our big emotions. Because what we don't want to do is be at the mercy of our big emotions. Because here's the thing, feelings tell us that something is wrong. And it's our job to discern inside of that feeling what is our stuff to own and what is someone else's stuff to own. What requires introspection and what requires confrontation. Huge. Too many of us just muddle through these big, huge feelings and we just take action, or we just kick ass, or we just get up in somebody's face, or we hide and we don't deal with it and we avoid it until it becomes a big, giant hairball. The point of this is to actually develop a rapport with your own emotions so that you can interrogate those big feelings and ask yourself, what's this really about? Is this me? Is this them? And what needs to happen next so that you can thrive in your career? So what do you mean? When I say you need systems in place, what do I mean by systems? Here's the straightest, simplest way to put a system into place to help you manage your emotions at work. Are you ready? Number one, when you feel a big feeling, feel it in your body. Locate it. Step one, locate it. Let me give you an example. Just this morning, swear to God, this is true. Just this morning, I was checking email, make sure nothing was blowing up so that I could do the rest of the stuff I had to do. And I got an email from someone that's on my email list. And she was furious with me. She was mad that I was sending too many emails. And she said, I'm going to unsubscribe from this list if you don't stop sending so many emails. And immediately the blood drained out of my body. Literally, I felt like the blood had drained from my body. I felt my heart rate go, my stomach flopped. And rather than hit reply and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, or how dare you, do you understand how high my open rates are? People love this freaking newsletter. P.S. You should get on it. It's so good. BronwynCommunications.com/subscribe. But rather than just react either by getting mad at her or hiding or like apologizing, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The first thing I did was I located what all the feelings were. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having like a wave of panic. I feel my heart rate rising. I feel my belly flopping and I feel myself getting very hot. And by staying grounded in the physical experience of that emotion, I was able to feel it come and I was able to feel it go. And only once that feeling like a wave moved through me, only then did I really start to solve. And that is the number one system I want you, even if you do none of the other steps, if all you do is step one, locate the emotion in your body physically, breathe into it and let it crash over you like a wave. It always moves through. Once the emotional peak is past, now you can move on to step two, which is take a little break, go for a walk, do something that gives your brain a chance to reset and your body a chance to reset. Because what resetting does is it gives you perspective. Is this email worth having a full-blown anxiety moment over? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you cannot get perspective by sitting in the same physical space, in the same mental space as you were when the big emotion showed up. So after that woman sent me that email saying, I'm going to unsubscribe because you're sending too many emails, let it crash over me. And I got up and I walked around my kitchen. I got myself a cup of tea. I rolled my shoulders back. I reset. In the process of resetting, I realized, you know what? She makes a great point. I send a couple of emails out a month, and people should be able to opt in for the ones that they want. So it turns out I have that ability in my list. The woman that runs my newsletter list was like, of course, send her this. At the bottom of every one of your emails, it says, would you like to adjust how you're receiving these messages? Just point her to that and she can self-regulate how many emails she gets. I was like, oh my God, thank you. That was great. So step one, locate it. Let it move through. Step two, take a little break. Get out of your physical space, reset. And step three, take action. Take action. You know you're ready to take action when you can see the situation from multiple perspectives. If you are still locked in a poor me narrative or an I'm a victim narrative or they're a jerk-faced McGillicuddy narrative, you're not ready to take action. We are only ready to take action when we can see our perspective and the other person's perspective. Do you love my my clause? Your perspective, the other person's perspective. Even if you can't see the whole picture, just being able to rise up out of the situation at a high enough altitude, metaphorically speaking, to understand where people are coming from, that is going to be the bedrock of a good plan. A good plan always acknowledges all of the sides, right? You really want to get extra about it. Once you're in the plan making phase and you can see all sides, look at the situation through a needs-based filter. I need to communicate with my newsletter. It's why people sign up. It's why people stay with me. It's why my open rates are so high. I need to communicate with my people. But guess what? My people need to be able to regulate how much contact they have with me. That's a legitimate need. She is expressing a legitimate need. And once I'm able to look at it through that perspective, then I can rationally and kindly and with great clarity and directness make a plan. So send her an email saying, hey, fair enough. I am so appreciative of this feedback. Just so you know, you always have the ability to adjust your preferences. Everything was great. She was grateful. I was grateful. It was all good. But that's an example of riding that wave through to completion and making a plan from a place of groundedness and sanity. Because here's what is not great. What is not great is making a plan and executing it from inside the emotional wave. Trust and believe you will do and say and behave in ways you will regret. And here's the thing about, we hear the phrase personal brand bandied about quite a bit. If personal brand, you call it whatever you want. Call it banana, call it Jim, I don't care. Concept is we are what we say and do in the world. So if we think of ourselves as a helpful team player, as a hard worker, as someone that understands how to navigate difficult situations, we have to be that person. And if we're out at work blowing up, exploding, or hiding, or behaving badly under pressure, we can't claim that our brand, our personal brand, stands for groundedness, problem solving, teamwork, right? So in our efforts to further our careers, we cannot forget how important individual conversations are, right? We are judged based on our best situations. When we show up as our best selves, we're also judged and perceived when we're at our worst. So from my perspective as a communication coach, when you're at your worst, you better take it in, huddle up, go inward, ride the wave, let it break, and make a plan once you have gotten back to that place of groundedness and regulation. Okay, if you're still with me, I want to give you a bonus tip. Here's the bonus tip. If you've ridden the wave, taken a break, you've made a plan, you've executed on it. Now you can do a little postmortem, right? A post-game recap. The question I want you to ask in the post-game recap is this: what was that really all about? So to use my example, at the base of my emotional reaction to the person who emailed me, their kind of emotional email to me was, I have a deep, deep fear of being a burden to people. It's been with me since I was a child. It probably has a lot to do with how I grew up. I am deathly afraid of needing too much, of being in people's space too much. It's something that really concerns me. And so when she said, I'm hearing from you too much, it instantly triggered that very ancient concern of mine. So try that, you guys. Try that and see what you find out. And as always, thank you for being here. Shine on. We need your light. Like and subscribe and send this to somebody that could use it. We'll see you next time.